Have you ever wondered why Facebook was such a popular app? Have you ever wondered why any app becomes popular and stays popular? A lot of it really has to do with reward mechanisms within the brain and how other companies are able to train people to use their app. So when you log on to Facebook and see your notifications, that acts as a reward, because what do those notifications imply? Usually it implies that somebody liked a post, somebody commented on a post, somebody is basically relevant to you, and you know that when you click on that, you are going to be redirected. It's gonna give you like a story or something, right? So to extrapolate on this, let's talk about how people are conditioned in general. Every company that relies on people using a product repeatedly relies on conditioning, right? So conditioning is basically the pairing of two stimuli. So let's just say a bell and food. And eventually let's just say you receive food after hearing a bell. Well, eventually you're going to get hungry the second you hear that bell, even without receiving the food. Another great example of this is how Snapchat, if you don't use that in a while, you just get the banner that's like, this person and this person are on Snapchat, even if you don't even know the person, or even if you haven't even snapped that person. So when you see notifications on Facebook, it'll trigger the reward of, oh, something important just happened. So when you log on to Facebook after a while, you will see rewards, and they will just get you log in, right? So let me just log onto Facebook. And it's like such an easy thing. You just click your button and then you're automatically in, just like that. Facebook won't log you out, because if they log you out and you have to log back in, that creates an additional step in the way of getting you into the app. So the longer you stay logged in, the better. The last thing a company wants to do is create barriers to get you to log out. Now, what they will create barriers to do is, if you ever try to delete something, uninstall or delete an account. I know, I remember if you try and delete Twitter, you have to jump through do backflips and jump through hoops, and it's insane the things you have to do to delete a Twitter account. But to create a Twitter account, it's just like that. So a company knows that there's a certain amount of patience that people have, and how much patience they're willing to have while doing something. So it's really important for a company, it's really important for a company that the individual can get into the application and use it very easily, so that they can accrue what is called daily active users. Daily active users are the amount of users that log on in any given day for an app. And this is basically a good baseline for a company to show how well their app is performing. If a lot of people log in every day, then that's a good sign. So and you'll see this with almost every single app nowadays. Anything from Pokemon Go to Connect the Dots games, where you receive a free reward for logging in for that day. So it's basically just minimal effort, get you to log in, receive a reward simply for logging in, and then that gets you to keep logging in, even if it's something that you don't particularly enjoy doing. So what happens if you go a while without logging in? Well, you wind up breaking the habit, which isn't good for the applications company. So what they do is they try to create false rewards. Well, if you're a game, you can have you just get greater rewards when you wait a certain amount of time. So when you do log in, you get a big burst of reward for logging in, 10 gifts or three loot boxes or something ridiculous like that, just to get you to give you an extra boost when you log in. With Facebook, what I've noticed that they do is, and I don't know if they used to do this, but it's pretty easy. They use the little red notification badges, right? So even if you turn off the application's notifications on your iPhone or Samsung or whatever it is, when you log in, under the notifications bell, the messages, whatever it is, it's usually the notifications bell, though, is the little red badge icon that's over the bell. It says somebody commented on a post that you commented on, or you have a new friend request under the messages app, on the messages icon, or anything like that. However, if you don't have any of those things, what they do is they will create basically BS notifications, just so that you see the red notification icon over that bell. So, and I'll give you great examples, because I don't use the app that much all the time, that much at all. So I'll log in after even just a couple days. So in order to give you the reward, because they're not a game that can just give you loot boxes, they create false notifications. And these notifications are friend suggestions. 99 out of 100 times there's somebody you do not know, and almost every single time it's somebody that you probably wouldn't have requested anyways. And if you actually were going to request them, you probably wouldn't have needed the badge in the first place to tell you that. Basically any app that sends you a notification that is pretty much useless is only sent for the sake of reminding you that the app exists to possibly get you to log in. And that's really what it is. It's just an advertisement for the app on your phone. It's basically useless. So the point I'm trying to get across is just be mindful of the fact that when you're using an application, the application's company, the owner, is attempting to train you to use the app. That is not an exaggeration. That is quite literally what they're trying to do, because they want a higher level of daily active users. It's extremely important to them, and if they're a public company with shareholders, it is a burden on them if the daily active users goes down. So if you find yourself logging into an application with no real purpose, you see it and it's like, oh, I wonder, like, really ask yourself, am I logging in, like, what am I logging in for? It's a good chance to think back and just look retrospectively and introspectively on why you might be logging into an app in the first place.